Right here. Right there. We're going to go back to the middle. Get a shot.
Jenna Ortega can't even show up to her own premiere without the internet turning her face into a group project. At the Wednesday Season 2 premiere in New York, she stepped out in a stunning black gown, bleached brows, smoky eyes, and the full goth fantasy. It was giving Wednesday Addams in real life, perfectly on brand. But instead of celebrating her look, trolls immediately zeroed in on her face. People online claimed she looked unrecognizable, accusing her of buccal fat removal and dissecting every angle of her cheekbones like they were in a science lab.
Really different when you go from 15 into adulthood, so it's really hard to judge.
The way they were zooming in on her photos crossed the line from commentary to obsession. Some even resorted to cruel comparisons. One joked she was about to break out into Michael Jackson's Thriller dance, while another said she looked like a PS1 character. That isn't playful banter anymore, it's straight up bullying. Strangers behind keyboards were suddenly self-appointed cosmetic surgeons, debating whether Jenna had ruined her natural beauty. It's invasive, unnecessary, and honestly just creepy.
Hi, I'm Jenna Ortega, and I'm so excited to be announcing that I am the new Rouge Dior ambassador.
Beautiful. One more time, yeah. Nice. Gorgeous.
The truth is, Jenna arrived at that premiere looking like a gothic dream. Floor-length gown, leather accents, plunging neckline, and her raven hair styled in the perfect messy way. She wasn't just dressed for the event, she embodied the dark, chic energy of Wednesday herself. The cameras loved her, Dior loved her. Her fans split right down the middle. Half were gagging over the look, while the other half instantly morphed into CSI investigators, obsessing over her face as if the dress wasn't even the headline. It wasn't the gown stealing the spotlight, it was the bleached brows, the razor-sharp cheekbones, and that hollowed-out contour effect that sent the internet into overdrive.
Thank you all for coming.
People didn't just say she looked different, they went as far as accusing her of surgical sabotage. Many were convinced she'd had buccal fat removal, a permanent procedure that literally carves out the fullness of the cheeks. And this is where the line between fashion critique and outright body shaming blurred fast. Instead of celebrating her Dior lipstick campaign, her Emmy nominations, or her growing list of career achievements, the conversation was hijacked by strangers debating whether her cheekbones were natural or sliced out.
When you're 15 years old, it varies for a lot of people, and you look really different when you go from 15 into adulthood. So it's really hard to judge from these photos. You can't actually say that she's had any plastic surgery done. She could have had weight loss. If she had buccal fat pad removal, it could present itself as an indentation like you can see in this after photo. There's also a lot of lighting differences, paler makeup on, there's a stark contrast with the lipstick and the eyeshadow, so there's clearly a lot of other things going on here to make her look more gothic and shadowy in the other picture versus the 15-year-old bright camera.
The obsession wasn't about style anymore, it was invasive, unnecessary, and honestly demeaning. And from there, things only got messier. For those who don't know, buccal fat removal is a cosmetic surgery where doctors literally go inside your cheeks and remove the fat pads to create a slimmer, sharper, more model-esque look. It's been trending in Hollywood for a while. Chrissy Teigen even admitted to getting it done. But here's the catch. It's permanent. You can't just try it out and then undo it. The internet latched onto that fact with claws. One person wrote, "You can't undo buccal fat removal if that's what she had." Kinda looks like it IMO, but I do think the overall look is cool too. Another doubled down with, "This trend is making naturally beautiful women look horrible." And of course, trolls didn't stop there.
Ruined her face. Bro, what is with these celebrities getting these weird plastic surgery procedures on their face, bro? Like, they genuinely be looking good. Y'all been seeing this new skeleton face style that women and guys have been doing? Like, what's up with that? It doesn't look good. People hop on these trends aesthetically and then do permanent damage to their face.
Someone compared her face to looking starved, saying the hollowed cheeks reminded them of people suffering from malnutrition. They even went as far as ranting, "We see this and think they're sick, and we're supposed to take political advice from these celebrities? They don't even know how to take care of themselves." Like, imagine typing that out about a 22-year-old actress and thinking you're making a meaningful contribution. It wasn't just criticism, it was cruel. And the worst part? Even people trying to defend Jenna still fed into the rumors. One comment read, "I think it's cool AF." One comment even said, "Change it up once in a while and you can always go back later." Which made absolutely no sense, because you can't go back later. Vocal fat removal is permanent, and after that rumor spiral, you'd think people would eventually move on. But nope. Instead, whole threads popped up with side-by-side photos of Jenna from 2024 versus now, zoomed in on her cheekbones like they just uncovered some grand conspiracy.
Hi, I'm Jenna Ortega,
Nice.
and I'm so excited to be announcing that I am the new Rouge Dior ambassador.
Beautiful. One more time, yeah. Nice. Gorgeous there to start.
This is the video set. Come on, this is where it feels like a heightened version of what you would expect carpets and glamour, fashion to be. So it's been fun.
At that point, it didn't even feel like commentary anymore. They weren't treating her like a celebrity, they were treating her like a case study instead of a human being. This is where it stopped feeling like gossip and started looking like targeted bullying. Once people realized they could get clicks by dragging Jenna's face, the floodgates opened, and suddenly every joke was at her expense. What made it worse was the silence from the very people who should have had her back. And here's where the double standard really shows. When male celebrities get work done, it's brushed off as aging gracefully or looking refreshed. Nobody is zooming in on The Rock's jawline or speculating about Zac Efron's cheeks with the same intensity. But because Jenna is a young woman in Hollywood, every tiny change is treated like a scandal. She can bleach her brows for one premiere, and overnight, she's trending for supposedly ruining her face. She loses a little fullness in her cheeks, and suddenly the internet has her booked for a secret surgery she's never even confirmed. Not going to lie, it's exhausting just watching it happen. And you can't tell me this isn't rooted in a bigger issue with how society treats women in the spotlight. If Jenna looks the same, she's labeled boring or mid. If she dares to experiment with her look, suddenly she's sick or ruined. There's literally no winning. What makes it even more frustrating is how fast the narrative flips. One minute she's being praised for pulling off high fashion at the Wednesday premiere, and the next she's being memed like some internet punchline. It's whiplash, and it proves just how fake the support can be when you're a woman in Hollywood. And the internet wasn't done dragging. After the premiere chaos, her Dior campaign dropped. Instead of celebrating her for being booked and busy, trolls twisted that too. She was glowing in sequined gowns, modeling lipsticks, serving timeless Hollywood glamour. This was Dior putting her on the level of icons,